Okay, so this is a audience video, but in specific reference to tasks that will ask you to create target audience considerations when creating a media product. So for example, the multi-camera unit, where the target audience considerations are in respect to the YouTube channel episode that you are creating in that unit. So the target audience considerations will usually ask you to talk about the primary target audience age bracket, the primary target audience gender split, as well as expecting you to then go on and talk about psychographics and audience gratifications. So before I go any further, I will very quickly recap those theory elements. There are other videos on my YouTube channel that will talk about audience in a lot more detail, so please hunt those out. For example, demographics, please don't always just aim for gender and age, especially if your media product focuses on perhaps representation of a particular demographic beyond that. For example, race, location, sexuality, religion, perhaps there's an element of economic status there, ABC1 audience members who usually are targeted because of their disposable income. Okay, something else to consider is the gratifications, of which there are 4, 2 of which we often use, one of which we hardly ever use in this particular subject, but perhaps may well be more applicable depending on the media product you are creating. For example, personal identity is usually always applicable. Okay, there will be something in your text that you are specifically using in order to provide identity, relatability, something that will engage a particular group of people. So they might have personal identity with a character, they might have personal identity with a presenter, they might have personal identity with a topic. Okay, personal relationship is the attempt to create a media products that people talk about, okay, so that they then go viral on social media. They are the top trending topic that night. I'm a celebrity, for example, Strictly, etc. Things that people talk about online. So that is to create opportunities for personal relationship where people can then form relationships with other people based on their like or dislike of a media product. Diversion, again, much like personal identity, usually always the case in TV and film. It basically means escapism. You are creating media products for entertainment, so diversion, escapism is usually present, and that goes hand in hand with binge viewing and time shifting, the ability to watch as much of that particular media product as you want, when and how you want it. Surveillance is usually for information or knowledge and will only be applicable if your media product, perhaps your YouTube channel in the multi-camera unit, is informative in some way, perhaps a conspiracy theory show, for example. Okay, so please also don't neglect the gratifications. The psychographics, if you remember, the Jung and Rubicam's 7 different kind of people, I'm very happy for you to just refer to them as different psychographics. Please don't try and appeal to all 7. You will disappoint probably all 7 of them if you try and please them all, but try and pick perhaps the 2 that your media product most likely appeals to. So again, the explorer usually goes hand in hand with the gratification of escapism, someone who wants to go home and pretend. The aspirer and the succeeder usually go hand in hand with ABC1 audiences who have disposable income because they want to pretend they've got that luxurious lifestyle, or they already have it and therefore have the money to afford the new products, to pay for Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, etc., buy the new iPhone, get the new iPad, etc. Okay, reformers, perhaps also strugglers, may well come into play when you are dealing with perhaps again conspiracy theories, any kind of narrative that focuses on individuals who may feel that they are not usually catered for, perhaps the opposite to the one I'm going to talk about now, which is the mainstream. Again, people who watch things because everybody else is watching it. Everyone who watches I'm a Celebrity is watching it because everyone else is watching I'm a Celebrity. So if you are the most famous YouTuber in the world, perhaps everyone watches your show because everyone watches your show, okay? And the resigned is much more traditional audience member, perhaps not applicable to the multi-camera unit, and perhaps more applicable to your traditional television formats, perhaps such as a soap or a more traditional documentary. Okay, so very quick whistle stop recap of some audience theory. Please use this It's on the Google site, and there is another YouTube video on my channel which focuses on audience in a lot more detail. There is also a link to the audience gratifications, the psychographics in particular, where the detail of those biographies are in a little more detail in this document. Some of you may want to return to the target audience for Netflix because there will be a lot of overlap in respect to the behaviors of individuals who watch and consume things on Netflix and people who watch and consume things in a multi-camera YouTube style show. Okay. The only other thing I would like to touch upon when doing target audience considerations is don't fall into the trap of being stereotypical when you can quite easily be statistical, okay, and provide opportunities to justify perhaps what might be on the surface a stereotypical statement. So if you are going to say something like our target audience will be 80-20 in favor of females because females are more likely to watch reality TV, full stop, that is a very generic pass statement. If you then support it with facts, statistics, data, perhaps even secondary articles that you find online, then that is a much more secure, perhaps merit or even distinction piece of work. Okay, so please support any stereotypical generic statements at every stage of the target audience consideration with statistical data and secondary research, please. Okay, thank you for watching. Please use this video and the other video linked to this one in respect to audience theory when doing target audience considerations in any of the assignments that I set. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.